Hey everybody, welcome. In today's video we have some truth on how BBL stink, and the sit-down wind smells really bad.
So this one day, me and my boyfriend, we getting ready, to do something. So first, let me say, my boyfriend at the time did not want me to get the procedure done, but I insisted. Me and my sister went to get the procedure done together. And before I got the procedure done, I joined the group on Facebook. It was like a support group, different women that got it, that's in relationships, just for, to talk about it. So a lot of women in the group was pretty much saying, when you get it, your boyfriend is going to be jealous, so just keep it out on that. So when he was telling me it was smelly down there, I was going to the group saying he's saying it's smelly down there. They was basically telling me to ignore him. He's jealous, but he'll eventually come around. So me and my sister got the procedure done at the same time. So at first, man's was healing up good. It was healing normal. So was my sister's. And I would ask her, is you healing well? She would tell me, yeah. I was healing well maybe the first 6 to 7 weeks. But after that, it kept on leaking and kept on draining. I was asking my sister how hers was doing. She said she was not leaking or draining. Mine's would close up, but then like a day or two later, it would start leaking again. So I used to put gauze and dressings on it to support the leakage while I may have been outside or out and about. So that's why I had it for a year with the leakage, because there would be points that it would close up, or I would think it was closed up fully, but it wasn't. So one day, me and my boyfriend was about to do something, and he just was like, I cannot take the smell anymore. And he broke up with me and he left. And that was pretty much that. But he was telling me for months. But me listening to the women in a group thinking they knew what they was talking about, it kind of messed everything up for me. It even got to the point I was wearing jeans in the summertime because it was an embarrassment even looking at it. I'm going to upload the picture right here. Part 3 on how I got my BBL surgically removed because my sit down wind was stinking real bad. So I deleted part 1 because there were so many people in the comments talking shit how y'all are doing now. So I deleted part 1 and I made part 2 because there was some people in the comments that wanted to know more. BBL stink, do you hear me? And it's not coming from the vagina or the beehole. It's coming from the incisions that they cut to inject the fluid and the fat in your butt, okay? There's people in the comments saying, oh, you wasn't washing up right. Come on, let's be real. It's coming out of the incision. It fucking stink. I don't care what y'all say. It stink. And if it's not healing properly and your body is rejecting it, the hole will remain open and the drainage will continue to come out and stink up your linen, stink up your underwear, stink up everything, okay? Now, my BBL been removed for the past 4 years. Only had it in for about a year until it was stinking so bad I couldn't take it no more. I don't know if y'all wanted me to get on here and say BBL smell good, but they fucking stink. Stay away from them.
Y'all know that lady that's on here talking about how she got her BBL removed because it stinked? Let me tell y'all something, okay? You know, me being in the strip club, me being a dancer, you know, you're around a lot of other girls. Some who just have horrible hygiene, and some, it be that motherfucking BBL, okay? Now, there was this girl that I used to work with or whatever, and she was so cool, bro. She was so nice, very pretty, cool. On the, like, if we say slim thick versus thick, she was more on the thicker side of things, right? But besides the point, beautiful girl, okay? Did good, okay? Now, the first time I had ever danced with her, I had been smelling something. Like, I was looking around or whatever. Like, you know, when you smell something, you're like, I know that ain't me. Like, I had smelled it to the point that I went to the dressing room, right? And like when I worked at Allure, they used to have these showers all the way in the back where the dressing room used to be on behind the DJ booth, right? I like went back there and literally was like, I went to the house mom, like, hey, Miss Rosalind, do you it wasn't me, okay? So like I didn't realize like who it was until I actually started to become cool with this girl, because we had went on a trip together to dance out of town one time, and every time she would go in the bathroom, use the bathroom, she would like, of course you're supposed to shut the door when you use the bathroom, but when she came out of the bathroom she would shut the door too, and she would be like, don't go in there. So I'm always thinking the bitch blowing it up, like taking a shit, right? So there was one of the days that we were there, I'm doing my makeup in the bathroom, and she came and she was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, whatever. So me, like, I don't know, maybe I'm different, but if my homegirl doing her makeup in the bathroom, I'll come in and I gotta pee and that's it, I'll just pee. Like, not that big of a deal. And I was like, girl, go ahead. She was like, no. Like, yeah. So I'm like, damn, she must got to shit again, y'all. So I come out, she pees, and she comes out fast. Not like it didn't take her shit time. It took pee time. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't long enough for her to take a shit. It was a pee type of, okay, cool. So when she came back out or whatever, she shut the door or whatever. She was like, just wait a second to go in there, whatever. I'm doing my makeup, okay? We're on a time crunch. So I'm like, girl, just spray some air freshener or something. I got, like, I go grab my perfume. I go in there, I start spraying it. But then, like, I start calculating in my head. Oh, she, like, peed, and it didn't smell like shit. Like, it smelled like ass, but not ass. Like, ass and I don't know how to explain it, y'all. I really don't. But I felt really bad because I don't really think that it was ever her personal hygiene. I really think it was her BBL. Some girls, their BBLs reject, okay? And so those incision holes that are around the BBL, right? It's like the stench can come from those even when they're shut, as it's rejecting it, it's like it's still oozing out a smell, holes closed and everything healed up, it was still like ooze out like a smell, which I ended up looking this up because when this girl gave the story on how she got her BB removed, I was like, oh, maybe I can speak on it or whatever, because I remember being around somebody like this. But yeah, when y'all be wanting to do these surgeries and stuff, y'all need to do all y'all's research, okay? Because if your skin declines to anything, you don't know what could happen after that. But I will tell you, there are some girls, I'm not saying no names, who got a little BBL smell. Okay, and I think that I don't know how you would recover that, because all the perfume, all the Febreze, all the motherfucking body oils in the world do not cover it up. And I could tell you, like with this girl, when we was out in public, like the more I was around her, it was a scent. It was like a part of her body odor. You know how we all have like our individual like scents and stuff. Like it was a part of her body odor, and she would wear perfume and everything, and I could still like smell it, to the point where I'm not gonna hold you, I stopped being cool with the girl, because in the dancer world you are who you hang out with, and if I'm cool with her and she want to dance with me, we in a bag, now the niggas looking around like, which one of you? It was never me, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to be around that, so I like made it to where like I didn't want to dance next to her. She was such a cool ass bitch, she really was. And like, granted, like when I cut her off, she never knows why I cut her off, but when I cut her off she started talking shit about me anyways after the fact. But that was the reason I cut her off, because it really was a cold turkey situation, just because like I couldn't be surrounded. And then bitches ain't gonna tell you, they ain't gonna let you tell them that they stink on some friend shit, like, hey boo, I don't know what it is, but like dancers, they not gonna take it the way you think. So I didn't ever say anything. I just stopped being cool with the girl, and it would come to a point where we would be at work together, and she'd walk up like, hey G, da da, and I would be like, hey, what's up? And I'd be like, oh, hold on one second. Like I would find any way to get from around her, because I didn't want her to think that she could stand around me and we work together. But yeah, some girls do have BBL smells, but it's because their bodies rejected. I think it's either their incisions or the BBL procedure, like, because you're harvesting fat, then they're putting it back in. It could be the needle that gave you an infection that they used to put it back in. It could be anything, but that's why some girls be stinking. And if you are one of the stinky BBL girls, go to the doctor, because perfume ain't gonna cover that up. You might have to really get a whole new BBL or something, like get everything removed, let them clean out the incisions and everything. They might just be able to open the incisions, go an inch or two deep and clean out whatever. But like it's not just a like, oh, I can cover it up. No, it becomes a part of their body odor. For real. For real. I wish people spoke more on like the side effects of BBL. You know, yeah, it could be great or it could be hard as a rock. Yeah, it could be soft or it could reject and you have this smell for the rest of your life, right? Like, I need my BBL bitches to come to the front. Like, I know, like, granted, even the girl that came on here and was like, oh, yeah, I removed my BBL. First of all, I love her motherfucking accent. I could listen to her talk just because her voice is so funny. But even with her being brave enough to come on here and say, hey, I had to get this removed because it really fucked up my life. I really had this smell. There's not a lot of girls who are going to do that, especially now, you know. But I commend her on being brave enough to come up on here and tell her story. And, you know, for me, I'm going to bring light to it because I know some bitches that. But yeah, and if the girl who, you know, knows that this is about her sees this, it ain't no pressure, okay? I know I probably should, like, granted, we wasn't friends like that, you know? Like, we was cool, but we wasn't friends where I was like, I could have been like, girl, hey, is something going on? Like, how I'm going to clock your pussy smell? I can't clock your pussy smell. Like, no, you know? But, yeah, that's why I stopped being cool with you. And then you started hanging out with bitches and talking shit about me and all this weird shit. So I guess it worked out in a favor. But I'm sure those same bitches that you went and was talking shit about me about, because I don't see you around them anymore, it was probably because of the BBL smell. Anyways.
BBL smells. But as I don't want to listen to my own experience, I'm gonna watch this guy own experience. No, watch it.
Yeah, those BBLs be stinking. So you guys may have seen this online that BBL smells is trending. And there are a lot of reasons for that smell, but I think that I will tell you guys a story about a girl that I dated, and I took her out. She had a BBL. Her body looked crazy good. Like, she had it done right. Her whole body looked amazing. So we linked up and we went out, had a really good time. We went to a Lakers game and then went to a spot by LA Live and had some dinner. Had a really good time. And so she was like, so what you trying to do? I was like, yeah, let's go back to my place and relax, have a nightcap and see where it takes us. So we drive back to my spot. And so light the candles, get the music going, open up a bottle of champagne, and we sitting there and we're having a nice vibe. And, you know, we started getting into it and everything, and clothes started to come off. And she wanted to give me a little show. So she was like, just stand right there. And so, like, she took off everything very seductively and got on my bed and started twerking that thing, right? And I was like, what the hell? Because at this point, she got nothing on. And I smelled this smell, and it hits my nose. The shit was like a salt of my nose. I'm like, what the hell? And so I'm like, baby, not to be rude, but I know we had a long day. You're not smelling that fresh down there. I think you need to get into the shower and go ahead and freshen up. And she looked at me so embarrassed. I did it as gently as I could, but what I realized is if someone has had a normal size behind for all of their life, and then they switch up and now they got this big BBL, they have to reach back there and really clean. You know what I'm saying? And if they're not used to doing that, they might not know that, hey, you sweat differently. Everything is different when you add that much more meat back there. That thing can't breathe as good. And the smell, I think her smell was coming from just not being able to get back there and clean properly. But some people's smell is coming from what the excretions and what's coming out with the fat that they've actually put in to their bodies. So, you know, BBLs for me is just for fun. Those women are for fun. Like,
As I don't tell na since BBL this man, I don't want hear. I tell na my experience. Tell na people experience. Una not agree, listen. Because these people, they don't enter Nigeria. These people, let's say, do all these surgeries, these cosmetic surgeries, they don't enter Nigeria. They're ready to ruin people's life. If that on your smell reach me, I will smack you. For the umpteenth time, it smells. It is what it is. If you watch to this part of the video, help me comment the cap man. It is what it is. Let's go. Let's get it. Gang. We move. No caps.
So, as someone who literally works in plastic surgery post-op care, I be around a lot of BBLs. If your BBL is stinking a year into the process, you might have some, like, I don't think that's your butt. I think it's a wound. It could be your cooch. I don't think it's the BBL itself. It might be a wound or one of the holes. To which I would say go to your nearest hospital immediately because it's probably rotting for whatever reason. After a BBL, though, I will say the smells are not that pleasant for a multitude of reasons that I'll list out for you. First of all, when you get liposuction, they stick that needle in there. That looked like I was doing something else just now. And when they're sucking that fat out of you, your skin is disconnected from the muscle. And the reason it's important that you get your massages, lymphatic massages, 6 months, you really should get them for at least 6 months after your surgery, is because your skin needs to heal and heal back onto the muscle. And you want it to heal flat and not have that like bumpy look that, you know, on someone's stomach. We all know the look I'm talking about. But while it's healing, fluid swells up because you swell. So with the lymphatic drainage for the first couple of days, your holes will still be open. There'll be some doctors choose to drain with tubes. Because if that tube gets yanked or that shit can hurt, just let it drain out. But it's not gonna smell good because it's literally pus and blood and shit from your body. It's disgusting. Another reason it stinks is because you're in a faja. You're compressed because we don't want you to swell, right? Because it's healing. And what your body's going to do if it's not compressed, it will expand. You're supposed to stay in that faja for days, right? So what happens is you got all that pus and bullshit coming out that already doesn't smell great. You're in the same faja 4 days a lot of times. You're sweating and you have your natural must. And you have a lot of smells mixing together. As someone who has done lymphatic massages, I can tell y'all, it doesn't smell great. The girls don't smell great fresh off the table. It's really nothing you can do. Oh, and I forgot this part. You still have to shit, right? You still have to shit. You still have to shit. And your butt is kind of hard, still swollen from all that freshly injected fat. And it's been sitting in a faja. And you now have, you're a part of the club now. You have 17 miles of ass crack. And you cannot necessarily clean yourself as good as you be used to. Because you're not like taking full-on showers. You're not doing that 48 hours post-op. Oh, and I forgot this. You still have to pee. Usually, the girls have the urinals or like the cups that they pee in, and you might get a little driblet. You can't fully squat and pee like Pocahontas. I'm sorry if that wasn't politically correct. That's what they called it at Girl Scout camp, which might have been problematic to begin with. You just can't squat and pee in that. Kind of have to be bent and hunched over. Again, this faja hasn't been cleaned, so it has doo-doo niblets, driblets of pee, pus coming out of you, and you're in that faja for like 3 days, 4 days. They take it off and put it right back on. That's what y'all are smelling. Now, that smells horrible, yes. But if you're still smelling like that 6 months post-op, you need to go to the emergency room.